What is next for Kamaru Usman? I hear a lot of nincompoops on the internet basically saying that Kamaru Usman is washed and that he is done. And that is probably the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my whole life.
Ultimate punching?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Ultimate Punching channel. My name is Jesse, and today we're going to be talking about what is next for Kamaru Usman. Show the channel some love. Hit that like button. No, smash the like button. No, destroy the like button. Hit the subscribe button. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Helps me grow the channel. And yeah, let's get on with it. If you watched his performance yesterday at UFC 294, it was incredible. He did such an amazing job. He went in there on 11 days notice. He fought through an onslaught of grappling and submission attempts in the first round, and he came back in rounds 2 and round 3 and made it very, very close. There have been some arguments out there by people like Michael Bisping who even say he won that fight. Give him a training camp and give him 2 more rounds, he would have come out on top in there, in my opinion. So no, the champ is far from being done. Now, he said this.
When you drop two close ones like that, you start to kind of question things and start to doubt yourself a little bit.
And all I have to say, again, from a random stranger on the internet, champ, you are by no means done. You can be done if you want to be. You have nothing else left to prove. You are the king of the welterweight division, and if you wanted to retire, you absolutely could, and there would be no shame in that. Your name and the name of George St. Pierre were being put in the same sentence as the greatest of all time. What more do you need? So few people are entered into that conversation as whether or not you're as good as George St. Pierre. But the guy I saw in there yesterday with Chimaev was the champion, the welterweight king of the world. He was back. Now, when I saw you fight Leon Edwards the first time, the champ was there. The second time, it looked as though, you know, you were a little bit gun shy. It looked like Usman was a little bit gun-shy going there against Leon for the second time because he was so worried about the head kick. Maybe he hadn't taken the time he needed to recover properly, to get himself back in the right space. But when he went out there against Chimaev, the champ was back. There is no doubt in my mind that he looked calm, cool, collected. He fought through some, like I said, this onslaught of submission attempts and grappling. He scrambled out of bad positions. He was beating Chimaev in the striking, in my opinion. So he absolutely belongs in the middleweight division. He could go back down to welterweight and give everybody there a run for their money, 100%. Or he could stay at middleweight and he could give everybody up there a run for his money. I thought he might have been a little bit small just based on, how easy it was for Chimaev to sort of do those takedowns on him, whereas if you look at other fights in his career, he would get back up really easily. He was hard to hold down, and so on. But it could just be the fact that Chimaev is that good in the grappling department. But Usman is not done unless he wants to be. As far as I'm concerned, the champ is back. That was a wonderful performance. He's not washed. He has lost 3 in a row, but that decision really could have gone either way. And if it had been a 5-round fight and a training camp, he absolutely would have won that fight, in my opinion. So whatever he wants to do, he can do. But I think it would be great to see him fight Dricus du Plessis, especially with that sort of African back and forth that went on. Maybe fight the fight that Izzy couldn't fight, something like that. I think there would be a lot of fireworks behind that. Or he fights someone else, maybe Paulo Costa. Maybe he fights... blanking on the name here. Maybe he fights Robert Whittiker, somebody else at the middleweight division, but he absolutely could contend in that division with probably anybody. You never know. Anything can happen, of course, but, there also wouldn't be anything wrong with him going back down to welterweight, beating up a few of the contenders and then, demanding that Leon give him another shot. And who knows? Leon might be out of there in December anyway. If Colby comes in and starches him, you never know, right? I do think Leon wins that fight, but you never know, right? All I'm here to say is that Usman has not watched the performance last night that you saw was championship level. Given a full camp, given a 5-round fight, I think it would have gone his way. So by no means is Usman done, and all I can say is whatever the champ decides to do, I'm really excited to see. But if he decides to hang it up, no shame in that. So anyway, great performance. I hope to see you back in there soon. And yeah, that's it for me.